Welcome to the Global Woman Big Masterclass Show. So, Diamond, we are going to ask you some questions before we move to the masterclass, because we want to know who is Diamond behind the brand. Now, apart from being an actress and a philanthropist and a business owner, an amazing, beautiful, stunning human being. So, how would you define yourself if you don't have all these titles? Because sometimes we define ourselves with the titles. I am an actress, I'm a writer, I'm a philanthropist, I'm a business owner. If I don't have these titles, who am I? So how would you define yourself without these titles?
Wow, that's a great question. And, to your point, oftentimes we do allow titles to define ourselves to the extent that we lose ourselves. So if you break everything down and you peel the onion back, I am a creative. I am a loving person who enjoys family time, and I love to be able to explore new things. I've always been naturally curious about what's possible in the world, what I'm capable of. And I'm someone who really likes to explore new things in my life and connect with people. So if you had to tear back all my titles, I would say that's the essence of who Diamond is.
I love that. And that's why you are who you are. And this is how you have built the whole blueprint formula to not only empower yourself, but so many people who are tapping into that wisdom that you have created. Now, your keyword is mindset, mindset, mindset. And you teach people how to manifest the life of their dreams, how to desire more, how to want more, how to express more, how to explore more, how to achieve more. Now, tell us, how can we get there? How did you start yourself, and what are the foundation? What is the foundation that people need to build before they start that dream path toward their destination?
Wow, what another great question, Mirela. It really starts with your internal exploration. Anytime that we have big goals for ourselves, in order to really achieve those goals, you have to take the time to figure out what's most important to you. So I would encourage anyone who is looking to step out of your comfort zone, do something really big in your life, pursue those big goals. First, take a step back and really ask yourself these questions. Why? That's the first question. What is your big why? And you've probably heard this before, and it sounds cliche, but it's really important to really go 7 layers deep with that why, because what you'll find when you go on your path, you're going to run into things along the way. And I talk about this some in the masterclass. Some people call them obstacles, but that's not a word I use. I call it opportunities, because the truth is during those times that you actually learn about who you really are and what you're ultimately capable of doing. Sometimes along the road, you may run into what some people call failures. I don't use that word either. I prefer the word feedback, which is valuable information that you can use. So when you're in touch with your why, what matters most to you, you can overcome and be able to work through these situations, understanding that it does not change who you are, who your essence is, and your purpose for doing the things that you do. The next
So you are saying that we should be careful with the language that we use?
Absolutely. Yes. Words have power. And the words that you use, especially the ones that are negative, make a big imprint on our subconscious mind. That's the home of your mindset. And if you think about your subconscious mind like a garden that's fertile soil, every single seed that's planted in that soil will grow. So if you use negative words in particular, it's going to leave a negative imprint in your subconscious mind, which drives 90 to 98% of your behavior.
That's so true. But Diamond, I don't believe that you have been like this all the time. Somehow, at some point of your life, probably you had a wake-up call, you had a breakthrough, you had a flashback in your mind, talking with yourself, I should change the course of my life. I should take myself into a new journey. I should bring myself into a new path, into a new direction. What was that moment? And how was Diamond before? And what is the big change that you brought to your life? And how did you manage that?
You're absolutely right. In fact, that transition process is actually why I'm a mindset coach to this day. I didn't wake up and say, yeah, I'm going to be a mindset coach. I actually started my career, as you mentioned, in entertainment. I was doing modeling. I was working as an actress, and I hit the glass ceiling in my career. I was also working at that time in corporate America. I have my master's in business administration, working in HR, and I hit the glass ceiling at the C-suite. And so that was a wake-up call. But the biggest wake-up call that I had is when my college sweetheart and I, we got married. We had 3 beautiful baby boys, and he decided to choose the life of drugs, alcohol over our family. And that's what really ultimately broke me down to my lowest point. And it was in that moment that I started really taking a deeper dive on who I am. Because like you mentioned earlier, I was caught up in the titles of wife, of mother, of actress, of model. And I really lost myself along that journey. And so when I hit that low point, it put me in a position where I had to really take some time to self-reflect of how did I get here and how do I move forward from this point? And that's when I met my mentor, who taught to me about the power of mindset. And I understood then that it was my perspective on life. It was the beliefs, the attitudes, the self-limiting thoughts, the negative self-talk that put me in that position ultimately, where I was looking for other people for validation, for support, for encouragement. And once I shifted my mind to recognize that, you know what, I have what I need already inside of me. And it's up for me to choose how I move forward. It's up for me to choose what steps I take. And it's up for me to choose to love myself first and not be looking for other people to fill my cup. And that's when I got on this mindset journey, because I was like, this is so valuable that I got to share this with everyone. And I went much deeper on that and started working on NLP, understanding the neurosciences of the mind, and earned my certifications in the area of mindset.
Wow. Because you know what, when we see successful people showing us the tip of the iceberg, we just think, oh, for them, life has been so easy. Oh, probably we don't know who has been supporting them and how lucky they have been or how blessed they have been. They're born with something special. But in fact, you are telling us that we all as human beings go through a lot of challenges. But it is what makes a difference. It is how do we respond to these challenges? People like you do not complain why life is so difficult, why it should be so hard, why me? But no, you choose to respond and say, if life is going to be tough with me, I'm going to be tougher. And if I have to go through this, I'm going to win and I'm going to learn. Instead of complaining why so many challenges in life, I'm going to learn how to cope with these challenges. But my curiosity is that how did you realize this ambition in yourself? Because not many people realize this ambition. Not many people have the ability to respond to life the way you responded. Tell us what triggered you, what inspired you to take that action?
Well, after I had the conversation with my mentor, it was a very distinct conversation. And he said this to me. He said, Diamond, if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in you? If you don't invest in yourself, how can you expect anyone else to invest in you? And that's when the light bulb went off for me. And I recognized that he was right. I didn't believe in myself. So how could I expect these other people to believe in me? I had not invested in myself. I invested in literally everyone around me. So how could I expect people to invest in me? And so that's when I went on my journey of personal transformation. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars in mentorship and coaching programs and masterminds and masterclasses in organizations like this, where I could be around people who had already been on the path of success and had learned the tips, the framework in order to shift. And that encouraged me, that inspired me. And it also taught me a few things about how I can shift and change my perspective and break those limiting beliefs. And it was through that process that I understood that I have to change. It was a must. And once you reframe things in your mind, you recognize, like you said, it's that magic word of choice, of choosing to reframe things. It's not what happens to us that matters the most. What matters the most is, what is the story that we tell ourselves surrounding our life's events, the things that happen? What are the emotions, the energy and motion that we attach to these things? You see, that's what makes the difference between someone who's gone through challenges and someone who's successful. The reality is we all have our own battles. We all have our good days and bad days. The difference is what we choose to do from that point and how we choose to view ourselves as we move through life's journey. One of the best things is to remember this, that the things that happen in your life happen for you and not to you. For you, because it gives you the framework of, you know what, this is something that I can work through. This is something I can build upon. And if nothing else, you will learn the lesson of how you were able to work through that situation.
Wow. So you are saying definitely it's really important to be able to choose the right people in your life, because people can make you or break you. These people can help you to build the right mindset, or these people can probably push you to go to the wrong limiting belief about yourself. But sometimes we say, oh, we can't choose people in our life. We can't choose our parents. We can't choose our place where we're born. We can't choose our school. We can't choose our environment, because that's the way it is. That's my destiny. So what do we do in this case?
That's a great question. People often ask me this, and you're right. You know, if you think about how your subconscious mind is formed, between the ages of 0 and 7, those are the years where you're the most impressionable. Your subconscious mind during that time is literally wide open and it's purely in receive mode. So the things from your environment during that time, particularly your family, it could be school teachers, literally everything in that environment makes the deepest impression upon you. As you grow beyond the age of 7, your conscious mind begins to form. And the difference is, in your conscious mind, you have the ability to accept or reject the information that comes in. And there's a filtration process that goes through. And so while you're still being impressed upon by the environment, you now have the ability to discern what you want to receive. So when it comes to that circle of influence, yes, it does matter who's in that circle. And so the question about, well, what do you do about family? You don't get to choose, or maybe even coworkers that don't support you. Think about it like this. We're in the era now of social distancing. So if you think about what they originally said about having the 6 feet around you, when you think about it from the mindset perspective, I like to look at it as that 6 feet is a bubble around me. Anybody that I allow in that 6 feet, I have to do a temperature check on them to see, are they in alignment with my values? Are they in alignment with my why? Do they fill my cup? Do they support me? And if the answer is no, then there's a way for you to social distance. So what do you do about family? What do you do about friends? You still love them. They're your family. You know, there's people that are in your life. But here's the thing, you have to protect your mindset at all costs, because it's your most valuable resource. In some of those cases, you may have a conversation with that family member. Hey, let me tell you about what's going on in my life. Let's work on, we can support each other. In some cases, that may not be possible. And so what you can do is love them from a distance as much as possible, and take that time every single day for you to fill your own cup. See, some people don't really understand your journey. Some people don't understand your vision. Some people may do what they call projection. They will project upon you their own limiting beliefs. They'll project upon you what they don't feel is possible based on the things they've learned from society or their own life experiences. And so when they come to you with that, it may not always be from a negative place. It could be from love. They don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you doing something that's not productive for you. So just understand, when that happens, that you have to protect your mindset at all costs and say, I understand, I know that I love you back, but this is important for me. Because the reality is, we all have one life to live, regardless of what titles we wear, what hats we wear. And I think Tony Robbins says it best. He talks about, at the end of life, the rocking chair test. And he says, when you sit in that rocking chair, what are you going to think about your life? When you reflect back, are you going to be thinking, man, I wish I would have pursued these opportunities. Man, I wish I would have taken advantage of the time that I have. Or you're going to look back and say, I did my best. I lived life to my fullest. I did everything to the best of my ability. I invested in myself, and I have nothing but love in life for what I've accomplished. And that's what you ultimately want to have. And so your family and your friends may not understand it, but you have to do it for you.
Wow, I just love this philosophy. Social distancing. That's the answer. Because you know what? The fact that we separate by something or by somebody doesn't mean that we don't love it. We don't love them. It means that we are keeping it healthy. And you know, many people get separated or divorced not because lack of love, but because that relationship is toxic and that love is toxic. And that's why it's really, really important what you shared, Diamond. Absolutely loved it, because you are saying that we have choices. Many people feel like powerless. I don't have a choice. I can't take decisions. I can't take actions. Yes, you can. Yes, you do. You have choices. You can't choose probably how people treat you, but you can choose how do you respond? How do you react to that treatment? Do you allow it? Do you accept it? Or do you stand in your power? And you know, English people have this expression, I'm loving and leaving you. And that's it. I'm loving and leaving you. Goodbye. And you choose people who are going to be part of your life. I mean, for a long time, I thought, I have shared this story. Sometimes people laugh at me because in our culture, my mama used to tell me, because I was a very social person. I used to go a lot outside and spend time with my friends. I loved spending time with my friends, and I loved time outside the house because the house was just becoming a hell for me. I just didn't like living in the house. It was really, really upsetting every moment, living in the house full of fight and lack of love, and people know my story. So that's why I was escaping. I'm just trying to find these moments of love and excitement outside the house. And I remember my mother used to say to me, oh, you are so happy when I see you outside the house. You're just spending so much time with your friends or other people, but you forget that the most important thing in life is your mother, because you can find a lot of friends, you can find a lot of things outside the house. One thing that never ever will find is your mother. You never can find a mother and a father. And I was raised with this idea, oh yes, I mean, the only thing I can't find is a father and a mother. I was not happy with my parents, but I thought, I can't find better than them. That's my destiny. And then when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I started dreaming, how about probably I find my rich mama? I found a mama that tells me how beautiful I am, how amazing I am, how powerful I am, how many opportunities I can tap into that world. Instead of my mama saying, you better marry that man because nobody is going to marry you. I mean, she loved me, but that was her mindset. It was not, I love my mama. I don't think there is somebody else in the world that loves me more than her. But that kind of love doesn't serve me. She loves me the way she loves herself. And then I started thinking that I have choices. The way I find my friends, I can find a mama. And I found my rich mama. And I found a powerful father. So I have adopted my mother and my father. And I found a family. I created the family of Global Women. I surrounded myself with amazing, powerful women. And I choose who are the people that are going to be part of my life. And having that choice is so powerful. And when I see women like you that teach and preach all day long to empower people by this philosophy, it just makes me smile, because you don't know how much you're impacting and influencing people around the world. Now, I have a question for you. How on earth you managed to become such a big influencer in a new platform like Clubhouse? I was talking about you in our room earlier. I was saying, you may be wondering how Diamond Diva became such a successful influencer person. Do you think that she's lucky? She has been blessed and she's been like entitled for that? No, she does her homework. She wakes up in the morning and she has committed to be consistent, to show up over and over and over again. Now, tell us the blueprint formula of the Clubhouse. How on earth you have managed to take yourself in such a journey and to become one of the top influencers in the Clubhouse? Is it luck? Is it blessing, or hard work, or mindset, or manifestation, or what it is?
Thank you so much for sharing, Mirela. I just wanted to comment on your story. That was beautiful for you to be vulnerable with us, because I think more people need to hear that it's not about coming from a perfect background and home life and all these things that we feel like are limitations for our ability to succeed. You can do it, just like you said, if you choose. And when it comes to Clubhouse and your question, I have some C's of Clubhouse that I'd like to share with you all. And the first one is consistency. One of the unique things about Clubhouse is, unlike other platforms where you have a digital footprint 24/7, like an Instagram where you have posts and they're literally up, as long as you have a profile, on Clubhouse, you're only available when you're active on the app. So that means that people cannot connect with you unless you are present. And so I have committed to make Clubhouse a part of my social media and marketing routine. There's so many amazing humans on Clubhouse. That's how we met.
Yes, this is how we met.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful for that.
Me too. And because of amazing humans like you, I recognized early on that this is the app that I want to be on and invest my time. So I doubled down and made Clubhouse a part of my regular daily routine. So I'm on literally 7 days per week for at least 3 to 4 hours per day. And it may not be consecutive hours. I may come on a few in the morning, afternoon, or lunch, but a minimum of 4 hours I commit every single day.
Wow. So it's not a magic. It's not a trick. It is commitment. It is consistency. Now, please, I'm so grateful you are here, because sometimes I find it so hard to sell it to my ladies, to convince them, my darlings, you have to show up. And many people find excuses. Now, tell us, how can we kind of uncover these limited beliefs? Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, it's so much work. Oh, it's so consuming. Oh, I'm so busy. I mean, you are a mother of 3. You are running a big business. You are a busy woman. You have so many hats. You have so many other commitments, but you find the time to show up every day. What is your philosophy?
My philosophy is this, and I borrow this one from Tony Robbins, who's one of my mentors. I'm in his mastermind for coaches and speakers. And he says this, failure is not due to a lack of resources. So the common ones are time, money, connections, or opportunities. The truth is, failure is due to a lack of resourcefulness. And this is a quote I brought from Tony Robbins. And so it's really a mindset issue regarding of understanding what's important to you. And it goes back to the conversation we had earlier about being in touch with your why. When your why is bigger than any excuse, then that's going to move you forward in understanding that you have to do this. It should be something that when you think about, do I want to do this project? Do I want to do these things? It's not an option, but it's a must have. And when you shift your mind to, I must do this, instead of maybe I can do this, then that puts you in the frame that this has to happen every single day. And I will tell you, there are days where I'm like, I could just relax and not get on Clubhouse today. I have other things I want to do. But then I remember, this is not an option. This is a must. Because if I didn't have that commitment, I would not have met you. If I did not have that commitment, I would not have met the other amazing humans that I've met that open the doors for opportunities like this one that I never even could have imagined. And so when you commit to yourself that you're going to invest time into the projects that serve you, to the opportunities that put you in alignment with your biggest goals, then you will see that the fruits of your labor will be produced. And so it's all about having that consistency, even on the days where you don't want to do it, even on the days where things go wrong and your computer freezes up, even in those days, you still push through and you say, you know what? I must do this for me, because when I look back on my life, I'm going to know I gave it my all.
Oh my God. And that's why you are who you are, my darling. You are not by accident. Because of course, we all have these moments where we don't want to wake up in the morning. We don't want to put that lipstick. We don't want to put that makeup in the face. We don't want to dress up and show up and go out there. We don't want to do that live video. We don't want to read that book. We don't want to do that class. We don't want to get out of the house. We just don't want to make that call. We feel, oh, I'm not in the mood. But this is what makes the difference. The difference between successful people and not successful people is what Diamond Diva has just answered. It is not a choice. It is a must. You want it or you do not want it. You like it or you do not like it. You love it or you do not love it. You have to do it. If you really want to be successful, if you want to make that difference, and if you are looking for that answer, why I don't have what I don't have, why I'm not the one that I am not yet, why I'm not being who I want to be, why I'm not going where I want to go, why I'm not dressing what I want to dress, why I'm not experiencing what I want to experience. The answer is here. Diamond Diva has just given us a $1 million answer. It is a must. And if it is not a must, then we stay where we are, no complaint. Now, I'm really, really grateful for everything that you have shared. And I could talk with you forever. One more thing before I let you go. I just know that what you're doing is bringing such a big difference to the world. And it's incredible what you have achieved by changing your life, but also by impacting so many other people who are inspired by you, who are motivated by you. You have a lot of followers. You have a lot of people who get that energy just by hearing your voice. Now, what would you say to these people who feel a little bit lost, who feel a little bit confused, who are looking for that light, for that purpose, for that vision, but it's not clicking yet? You are a mindset coach. You are an amazing human being. How did you find yours, and how would you recommend for these people to find their click, their light?
I love that question so much. And I really think it's appropriate for the times that we're living in. You know, people are under enormous stress right now, and the conditions with the global health crisis. And so people really want to know the answer to this question. And first of all, I want to say this to everyone. One of the things that really shifted my mind was understanding this. I went from being a perfectionist and having these, high standards for myself that are just clearly unachievable. And one of the phrases that allowed me to see this is imperfection is a symptom of the human condition. Now I'm going to say it again. Imperfection is a symptom of the human condition. We have to recognize that as humans, none of us are perfect, okay? And, I know I'm speaking to a group of high achieving women. We have big goals, we have big ambitions, and sometimes we're a little bit too hard on ourselves. So I want you to give yourself grace and give yourself love and understand that there are amazing things about you. I believe that every single person is here for a reason. I believe that every single person has God-given talents, skills, abilities, things that make you unique, things that make you special, and that you are here to be able to showcase your talents and to help others with your gifts. And so an exercise that I invite everyone to do is what I do with my clients when they first come into the program, and it's called an acknowledgement exercise. And for this exercise, I encourage you to write down 25 things about you. Now, this is different from gratitude. This is not general things like, oh, I'm just happy for having a nice house or a car. No, these are things about you specifically as a person, things about you that you love about yourself. And what you'll find when you do this exercise is once you hit number about 10 or 15, you're gonna have to start getting a little deeper than, oh, I like my hair, I like my smile. You're gonna have to start getting below the surface, peeling that onion back, and get to those things that really make you unique, those things that people can't see right off when they look at you, but you know that you have it. And once you get this list completed, I want you to take that list and create affirmations. And I like to use the I am statements. I am love. I am amazing. I am joy. All the things that you love about yourself. And then once you get that list, look yourself in the mirror and say these affirmations to yourself. Say them to yourself and look yourself in the eye. And what this is going to do for you is this is going to remind you who you are. When you're feeling lost, when I was in my darkest place, I had forgotten who I was. When I lost my title of wife, when I lost my high level position, when I wasn't able to reach that international superstar model status that I strive for, I began to question what made me me. Why was I here? And so by doing this exercise, that puts you back in touch with who you are, your essence, just like the question you asked me earlier. Beyond the titles, who are you? And it's so important to do this exercise because many of us do not take the time to do that. We do not take the time to acknowledge what makes us special, what makes us unique. And so that is the first step. Once you have clarity about who you are, that then puts you in position to be able to do the next step in your life, which is figure out what now do I do with these talents? What now do I do with these gifts and skills? Because what you'll find is the skills that you have are meant to be shared with the world. And so if you don't choose to do that, you're depriving yourself and so many others by not giving them the chance to receive the benefits that you bring to the world.
Diamond, what can I say? I mean, you have definitely inspired us and you have uplifted us. You have started inspiring us also to ask the right questions and to bring the right quality in our life, because that is all about our life is what are the questions we ask and what is the quality that we bring to our environment and the quality that we create. So thank you so much. You are amazing. We love you.